Hey, my name is James, the non-professional, back with another episode of Draw, and today we're doing Scarecrow. Now, this is my personal rendition of Scarecrow, so it's not like the video game or the Scarecrow in the movies. I just basically dressed him up like an actual Scarecrow that you would find in a cornfield or something. So let's start off with some roughs. Keep your lines loose and just throw some lines up on the stage, and let's get a good concept of what we're going to do here. So you guys are going to see a lot of readjustments and some second guessing of the things that I draw, just because there's a lot of things I was just unsatisfied with regards to this picture. But in the end, it turned out to be pretty nice looking. One of my better drawings. You'll see the shirt sort of flapping in the wind there. I take that out. I take a lot of things out. I had him in a cornfield initially. I take the whole cornfield out. It was too distracting from the subject matter itself, so I just decided not to go with it. So it looks like he's got claws there. Like I said, I changed that out to just regular fingers on him. And that's what you get from roughs. That's what the roughs are actually for. You put a bunch of lines up on there, and then you realize, hey, that's not the direction I want to go, and you end up erasing it or changing out different aspects of the character itself. Realizing that Scarecrow doesn't have claws in any form. I don't ever know if I've ever seen him with claws, so switch it out and give him regular hands. And then once you've finalized are satisfied with the characteristics that are put on in the roughs, and you move on. So we're in the lines or pencil stage of the drawing, and keep your lines tight. And you'll even see throughout my lines here that there are things that I was just dissatisfied with, and I ended up changing it as well. This mask and this costume actually is of my own design. There's a lot of inspiration from different scarecrows, comic book scarecrows that I've seen in the past, but I've taken sort of the aspects or the creepy or freaky aspects of the scarecrows that I like, and then I just compiled them all in this particular design here. You're going to see me erase that rope that's around his neck and have it dangling straight down because I just didn't want it to be blown in the wind anymore. I don't know why. I don't know why I changed that. I just for this particular drawing, I just ended up changing a lot of things. Scarecrow is a pretty fascinating villain, at least to me, because when I was a kid, I used to have these frequent nightmares on up into my teens, and it got so frequent that I would actually know that I was in a nightmare, and I would be able to control the situation. And I always thought that, if anybody in the Batman universe found out that Scarecrow was actually behind the situation, that they could just sort of manipulate it, because it's all going on in their head. And if you know that it's going on in your head, you should be able to create or manipulate the situation that you're in. I remember, taking to flight. I remember, just doing all sorts of super heroic things in my dreams just because I understood that it was a dream, And there are often times that, I just refuse to wake up from that nightmare. It wouldn't be a nightmare at that point because you it's a dream and it's no longer something that you're afraid of. But anyways, very fascinating character. I always thought it was one of the better characters in the Batman universe, better villains in the Batman universe, when I used to watch that cartoon every day. So we're going to do a little blackout for the pants there. And the hatching, or the open lines that I used in the legs, gave it a lot more rounded shape. So you actually got one leg sort of protruding forward and one leg sort of sitting back. Almost like he's about to just sort of walk off of that stand that he's just hanging from. All right, so let's keep our lines super tight because we are in inks, and this is the product before it goes to colors. I used a lot of open lines in there, but hey, I use a lot of open lines in all my drawings because I did end up not using very much hatching in this drawing. Instead, I determined to go with details to make areas sort of darker that needed to be darker, and made areas that were that needed to be more three-dimensional. Just as I've mentioned in my last video, I like using details more than I like using hatching to actually bring out the dimension and the shading and the contrast in the art piece. Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, I changed up the ropes there. You can still kind of see the sort of faded pencil ropes, the ropes that I did in pencil stage, and they're blowing out in the wind, whereas the ones in the inks are just hanging straight down. Just be okay with making mistakes and be okay with readjusting your product in order to make it more aesthetically appealing or even more functional. I did like doing the stitching on the Scarecrow's mask there. I mean, honestly, anything with stitching just makes it look a lot creepier. It doesn't matter what it is. Heck, even Catwoman looked a lot creepier when she went in that costume in Batman Returns, and it was that faux leather costume or that pleather costume that she had with all the stitching on it. Even though it was still sexy as ever, it still looked a lot creepier than just a regular costume that you see Catwoman in. But like I said, anything with stitching is creepy. You remember like the burlap mask in that movie, The Strangers? Oh man, that is one movie that, you know, I'm very rarely scared of movies, but that one just got under my skin for some reason. All right, so that should just about wrap up the video. Always remember your 3 P's: persistence, patience, and perseverance. That's how you're going to mature in any endeavor. Hey guys, if you like my content, please like or comment below. And if you want regular updates, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.